It's time for another Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast, and we'll be talking with Tiffany Ketchum, who is producing and directing a movie locally produced with an all-child cast. Should be very interesting, and I love that it's locally produced and it has an all-childhood cast, and that it's giving these kids an experience that they're never going to forget for the rest of their life. She's looking for sponsors for this movie because it is quite costly to be able to produce, and it's a very fascinating idea that she came up with, and I think you're going to find the podcast very interesting also. And don't forget the video shortcast that you can find on outandaboutwithjamiegrout.com and on my YouTube channel also. But first, a word from our sponsors, including Ryan's Tire and Auto on First Avenue in Newton. And I've mentioned it many times before, but my other part-time gig is at WHO Radio in the morning. And as you know, we've had lots and lots of rain, especially in the month of July. It's been record-setting, and they put new windshield wipers on my car earlier in the season. Thank goodness for that, because I've needed to use them. Plus, it's been very hot, and with that in mind also, they put a new blower motor on my car, and that really came in handy with those hot summer days that we've had, keeping my air conditioning going and keeping me nice and cool. Plus, they did a great oil change on my car too. So I've had my car serviced many times by Ryan's Tire and Auto throughout the summer months, and they've done a great job, and they take great pride in delivering more than just tires and vehicle maintenance. They provide an unwavering commitment to give great service every single time at Ryan's Tire and Auto on First Avenue in Newton. Also sponsored by Newton Clinic. Preventative care is one of the best ways to protect your long-term health. Annual exams, screenings, and checkups help catch small issues before they become big ones. Call or text 641-792-2112 to schedule your visit to Newton Clinic today. And of course, the kids will be going back to school real soon, and make sure that, from the sidelines to the starting line, make sure your child is ready to play. Schedule their sports physical at Newton Clinic and start the season strong. Call or text Newton Clinic again at 641-792-2112 to book your appointment for your youngster today. And also sponsored by Advantage Credit Union.
Financial fitness doesn't happen at the gym. This is your spotter, Ashley from Advantage Credit Union. We'll do the heavy lifting while you gain the power of loan pre-approval. This kind of muscle means you know exactly how much you can borrow for that next vehicle and what your payments will be. Plus, you have 30 days to shop any dealership for your purchase to work out. ACU membership is better than a gym membership because you actually own the place.
Local money, local decisions, local service, and locally owned by you. Subject to credit approval, member NCUA.
It's time for another Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast, and I'm with Tiffany Ketchum, and she is making a movie and is looking for support in all this, and I'm looking forward to talking with Tiffany about this. And it's already been cast, and she has a bunch of children in the movie. And before we get started, Tiffany, I have a connection to a movie where I was an extra with a famous television and movie star.
Ooh, I'm excited to hear about it.
It's very ironic that you would be having to be making a movie with a bunch of children, because when I was 11 years old, I was in a movie with Dick Van Dyke.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible.
Back, this would have been 1969. They made a movie in Winterset in Greenfield, Iowa called Cold Turkey. You can find it on YouTube or Amazon or one of those streaming channels. You just have to Google it. And it's the plot of the whole thing is a tobacco company challenges a small town to quit smoking for a period of time. I don't know whether it's a week or a month or something like that. The entire town to quit smoking for like $1 million or something like that, which back in 1969 was a whole lot of money.
That was a lot, yeah.
Right. And heading up this whole campaign was Dick Van Dyke, who was a minister in that town. And so for whatever reason, Tandem Films, which was headed up by Norman Lear, who gave us All in the Family and Sanford and Son and the Jeffersons and all that, decided to film it in small town Iowa. And so they needed a bunch of extras. And my sister and myself were extras in that movie. I'll never forget, I thought I was rich. We got $15 a day to sit around and be extras in the film. And I met Dick Van Dyke, and after this interview, I will show you the pictures of Dick Van Dyke where he was just kind of sitting around or leaning against a truck, and he was the nicest guy you'd ever want to meet. And in December, God willing, he makes it. He will be 100 years old.
I know it's incredible. He's still around, a gift, really, and that is such an amazing story.
It is.
I can't wait to see that picture.
Enough about me. I want to find out about, first of all, you're going to be doing this movie. You've already had it cast. You're looking for sponsors. But where did you get this passion for movie making, Tiffany?
I have always been a storyteller. I love writing. I did a film in college called Chasing You, and I was just doing it for fun. Wrote a script, making a movie with my friends. And then it won Best Film in Iowa from the Iowa Motion Picture Association.
No kidding.
Yes. And then I went off and got married and had 3 beautiful girls and didn't do anything for 10 years. And I still was writing. I still was telling stories, but my focus is more on being a mom. But I believe it was 2022, I said, I love doing that so much. I'm at a place in life when I want to do it again. And so we did The Gates. I was at the movie theater, Capitol 2. And you know that skit they do at the beginning with the song and the pig and Welcome to Capitol 2? And I thought there's somebody else out there like me who also likes to do this stuff in Newton. So I connected with Cody McKinney, and he and I did The Gates, and he'd never done a film before. He only did music videos. And The Gates did very, very well. We sold out in Newton. We played it at Fleur and in Cedar Rapids. We won first at the Cedar Rapids Independent Film Festival. I got nominated for Best Film, but did not win this time. But again, after a 10-year hiatus, that was more than I could have ever dreamed of. So immediately I said, I'm going to keep doing this. But I'm someone who, I like to push myself. I like to do things a little bit differently. And so I came up with the concept of Littles. That's the title of the movie. And it's all kids. And as far as I know, from the Iowa Motion Picture Association, there has not been an Iowa independent film that is all kids without a single adult on set the whole time. So there's no adult actors in this. It's carried all by the kids. Every kid in this is from Newton, Colfax, Baxter. We have one Grinnell. We have a couple of Pleasant Hill that take classes here in Newton for dance, but every kid in this has a Newton connection. And so that's kind of how this film came about. That's a very brief history of myself. And yeah, we're very excited about it, but it's also a big challenge.
Well, before we started, I told you a little bit about how I met my significant other. Mm-hmm. Have you always been into acting?
Yes. So when I was in high school, I was in drama. I shared I was in The Princess and the Pea.
Yeah.
In college, that's kind of where my writing started, was through drama, was writing skits for the stage. I went to Buena Vista University. They have a great media program, and that's kind of how my writing for the stage translated to writing for movies. I actually met my significant other there, Andrew. We were in the play I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change. I actually was the choreographer for it, and he was a horrible dancer.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's how we met. And then he was actually the lead actor in The Gates. So since I started doing movies, my acting has kind of taken a backstage, and I like being behind the camera.
Okay.
But he definitely still likes being in front of it.
Well, he sounds like a kindred spirit to me, because I am a ham. I work at WHO radio in the morning, and I'm jonesing to be on the air. And I'm going to be at the State Fair. I'll be handing out stuff at the Crystal Studios, but I am going to be hosting on Saturday the 16th from 3 to 5, and I can't not wait. So, I love the spotlight, so I can relate to your husband. That's for darn sure. Now, before we talk about the Littles, can you tell me about The Gates, what that was about?
Yeah, so it was a supernatural action adventure movie.
Okay.
We kind of shot for the moon. So the synopsis, you could say, is that a con man gets out of prison and he wants to find out who double-crossed him, how he ended up there. So he finds out that it was his business partner, But before he can do anything about it, I think it's in scene 5, he gets murdered. And he meets the gatekeeper and cons the gatekeeper into letting him come back down to Earth. And at first, he seeks out revenge, and then slowly he learns that maybe his family and friends matter more. And it's kind of a redemption story of choosing good over evil. So Littles is completely the opposite of that, where it is just more a fun celebration of childhood.
Okay. So it's a fun celebration of childhood. What is the age range for the kids that have been cast in The Littles?
Yes, so our youngest are around 5 years old, and our oldest, I believe, is 11. We might have a couple birthdays over the summer where they turn 12.
Okay. And is it a coming of age type film? Is it, can you be a little more explanatory without giving away the entire plot of the movie?
Yes, so our main character is Janie. She wakes up, she gets her kids off to school, has a husband, has bills to pay, seems to be an adult except for she's 11 years old. She goes to work in an office. And as the day goes on, the more we as the viewer see that maybe something isn't quite right in her universe. And so it's, like I said, it's a celebration of childhood, but it's also got a lot of quirky humor in it. I know that with our office scene, we do a play on some of Office Space or the Office type of humor and jokes. And it's fun because it's definitely a family film. But there's going to be something for the adults to laugh at, even though maybe the kids performing it don't know where the joke came from, because some of the jokes were around before they were born, okay. Especially some of our Office Space humor. So it's fun to have that double edge to it where adults and kids can enjoy watching this.
So you wrote this?
Yes.
Where did you get the idea for this?
Funny enough, would have been 12 years ago. We're on a family reunion vacation, and I'm the oldest cousin, but I have cousins that are 15 years younger than me, so we were kind of looking for something for all the kids to do. I wrote this little skit. They performed it on Myrtle Beach, and just even now today, that some of them are 20 years old, like, remember when we made that movie on vacation? So I took that little 10-minute skit that we did, and I made it into a feature. I added in a ton of scenes. I built the story out more, gave it more jokes, more locations. And so, what was once just something fun for my cousins to do has turned into one of my favorite stories that I've written. So it was fun to dive back in and expand that universe.
Okay, so you're looking for sponsors.
Yes. So filming with kids can get more expensive than with adults. We have to be on location a little bit longer, but we also have to keep shorter days. We have a cast of 30. We were so excited that when Cody and I set out to do this, that we didn't want to turn a single kid away. And so we have a big cast. Everybody who wants to be a part of it is a part of it. But that means we also have to feed that large cast. We also are adding Boston Van Sickle to our crew. He also had a movie out last year.
Sure, to rave reviews.
Yes. And so it's really awesome that both of our camera guys and then myself, the writer-director, are all from Newton. And bringing him on is an extra expense, but well worth it with his talent and his work he's done with the kids. And it'll help us film a little bit faster. So because of those things, we're looking for business sponsors to sponsor a kid and help us get this movie made.
So he's in the cast? I thought the cast was all kids.
It is all cast. So he is one of our cameramen.
Oh, I see. He's behind the scenes.
He's behind the scenes,
okay,
yes.
All right. Okay.
But he's been at a lot of the practices and helping us prepare the kids and get ready for filming. And that has been a huge help. Cody is currently on tour with Chris Calico and has been since June. So that would be a national rap artist that he tours with. And so Boston's been an excellent help with the kids.
How did you find these kids anyway, Tiffany?
Some of them I've met through my daughters. Obviously, they're about that age. Something really special about the film that we're doing is it has a 4-minute Broadway song that they are singing and dancing and
Wow.
performing to. So some of these girls actually come from the dance studios in town. Others were just interested in being in a movie.
Really? Wow. Uh, let's face it. I mean, younger kids can be kind of rambunctious
Oh,
and
yes.
hard to keep contained sometimes, a little hyperactive, especially you put some sugar in them.
Absolutely.
How did you keep control of, I mean, I've been around kids and I was a little hyperactive as a kid too sometimes.
So we're doing a ton of prep work. Normally with a movie, you have a read through. Maybe you have one practice. These kids have been rehearsing since May. So they know their lines. And I have the best crew where they're in there, they're getting to know the kids. Usually the crew, maybe you have one meeting before you film. Our guy doing audio, Dylan Jacobson, actually came in this last week, brought all of his equipment so they can practice with a boom above them and can get used to microphones. We actually have 2 kids on on the crew as well. They're about 14, where they're a little bit too old to be a part of the film, but they still wanted to help. And so they're going to be kind of the mic assistants, helping the kids get mic'd up for their roles. So that's kind of how we're keeping that rambunctiousness to a minimum, is by tons of prep work. We're treating it like a play rather than a movie. And I think that's where we're going to find success, is when we go on set, there's no surprises. They've seen all the equipment. They've worked with all the crew. They've said these lines for countless months. I'm still anticipating some rambunctiousness, but it's at a minimum.
But it hasn't been filmed yet.
No, we start filming this September. We are filming at the Steppin' Out Dance Studio in town. And also, kind of a fun story, I had a heck of a time finding an office location that would let us have kids in there. On the weekends, just most functioning offices, they don't want 30. I wouldn't either if I owned the office.
You bet.
But in town, we have this gift of the old Maytag corporate offices.
Oh, sure.
And those are owned by DMAC, and there's cubicles and chairs in a whole perfect set for us.
Wide open spaces.
Yes, exactly. And then we're fortunate enough, there's a electronic recycling company in Des Moines that is donating all of the laptops, keyboards, mouses for when we're filming, that we can just bring in there and then take back out. So, like I said, a gift from the community that we just have that right here in town and can keep everything filmed in production here in Newton.
You're very lucky. Now tell me if I'm wrong. It sounds like the plot is kind of an adult type plot done with kids.
A little bit, yes. Yes, I would say so.
Sounds like a lot of fun. The Littles. Okay. Now, if somebody wants to sponsor this, what would they get out of it? Would they get credits? I mean, what does the sponsorship entail?
Yes. So we actually have a fundraising website that I will send to you when we're done. But what they get is they get a shout out with a kid on our Facebook page. So our kids have different profile cards telling their hometown, their age, their likes, things they're excited about for the movie. So a business can pick a kid, sponsor them, and then we give a Facebook shout out with the kid and business. And then we also will put their business logo in our end credits, which will hopefully be seen throughout Iowa when this premieres.
All right, fantastic. Anything else you want to add? I think you have bases pretty much covered in the whole interview here, but this just fascinates me. This sounds fantastic, and the way you came up with this idea, and it sounds like it goes way back to when you were in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I would have been about 20 years old looking to entertain my cousins, and that's when the seed of the idea started.
Sounds like you really have a passion for movie making.
Oh, yes. I'm bursting with ideas. I hope I can keep doing this for years to come. Our last film, we really did all of the financing ourselves. On most of them, I would, but with this one, we're kind of going way bigger than a normal film. We're doing things outside of the bounds, so that's where we're looking for some community support on that part of it.
Is it going to be open to the public to watch the film being made?
Being made, no. I will say I want the least amount of distractions on set. But We do have a Facebook page where we're showing a bunch of behind the scenes footage of the kids practicing, of them working on the song. And so I encourage everyone to go to that. Our fundraising page is on there as well, talks about the crew, who's involved. So yes, definitely check those out.
What's the name of that page?
So the Facebook page is just called Littles. And then the fundraising page is Littles the Movie.
Okay, Littles, and then Littles the Movie. Look for it. Okay, and they're looking for sponsors. This sounds like a lot of fun, and you've got a cast that's already been chosen. You've got you, who've already done a movie, and you've got Boston Van Sickle, who's already done a movie. It sounds like you've got some great support and some people, including yourself and Boston Van Sickle, who know what they're doing. So, yeah, more power to you. I think this is going to be a success.
And like I said, Cody McKinney's been doing music videos in the area for almost a decade as well. So having all of us on one crew is... it's a dream come true to do something this big with very experienced people right here in town.
And I know I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire, but hopefully when would you like this to come out and for the public to be able to see it?
Our goal is to have it done by December. However, we're planning a premiere. We always premiere movies first at Capitol 2 Theater. We want to thank our community. Our last film, The Gates, sold out both rooms. We want to do that again with Littles, not only to celebrate our cast and their parents who are putting in the work to bring them to all these practices, but to support our community as well and to celebrate what the talent that's in our community.
Yeah, that's great. The Capitol 2 Theaters, where every movie brings out joy.
Yes.
The mini pig. You bet. Well, more power to you. And again, give us those Facebook pages and how people, if they want to sponsor this, how they can get involved.
Yep. My business company is called Ketchum Pictures. It is my husband and I. He's a producer on this and wrote the song that they're performing. So our whole family is in it, and any sponsors can go to Ketchum Pictures. And yeah, I'll send you the links for that Facebook and fundraising page.
Okay. Tiffany Ketchum, our interview guest on Out and About with Jamie Grout. We're going to do a video shortcast in just a couple moments, and you can see Tiffany, but check out the Littles. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's exciting news for Newton. It'll be coming out sometime next year.
January 2026.
Okay,
yes.
Be watching for it. It's going to be a blast, and it's a pretty neat thing for good old Rootin' Tootin' Newton. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Out and About with Jamie Grout. This podcast also sponsored by Lynette Baker, Halo branded solution. Also, Jersey Freeze in Monroe. Head on down there and get some tasty ice cream treats, including the Van and Bonbon Freezer, named after the legendary morning show on WHO, Van and Bonnie, and also Westside Java Coffee Bar. Until next time, Grout is out. See ya.